Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Barker Stadium here in Chapmanville, West Virginia, where it is do-or-die time here in Youth League football action as we have a 4 versus 5 matchup here in the B team as the Danville Hawks set to take on the Tug Valley Panthers here in our first game here today. Chris Kidd with you, along with Kevin Jones alongside me. And KJ, this is going to be an interesting matchup between these two. Again, this really decides who gets to take on more than likely Tulsa next week in the semifinals. And seeing both these teams this year, this should be a very evenly matched ball game between these clubs.
I agree, and I tell you what, I was here when Tulsa was here, A, B, and C, and they are really good on A, B, and C. And I think on 2 of them, they were the number 1 seed. So whoever wins this game is going to have a tough matchup with Tulsa. But well, I don't know. Tulsa's got a game I think they're playing them at Logan today.
Yeah, I was going to say Tulsa, they've got the 1 seed in the B and C regions as Mingo Central claimed the 1 seed in the A-team region with that blowout win last Sunday over Tug Valley, and this will be the first of our 3 games here today. We've got 2 versus 7 matchups coming your way following this matchup in the C team and the A team. So make sure you're with us here all evening long on the D&D Sports Network for Youth League football action. As right now, Kevin and I are going to step aside for a quick break. When we come back, it'll be time for kickoff here between Danville and Tug Valley as you're watching youth football action with us right here on the D&D Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody, here to Barker Stadium. Chris Kidd and Kevin Jones with you as we are getting set for the coin toss to get things going here today in our first clash. Again, we've got 3 games on tap here today. This is the B team division. Next will be the C team division. Those will be the youngest kids. And then the conclusion tonight will be the A team contest. Those will be the older kids. So this is primarily in the 8-9-year-old division, KJ. So, you do get more of the traditional type of football, kickoffs and punts and everything in this one. So these are more experienced kids that don't need the coaches on the field and typically have had a taste of this playoff football already.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to do this is I think this is the 3rd Little League games that I've got to do this year. I've been to Chapmanville twice and then to Tug Valley. So I really enjoyed it. I had a good time.
Yeah, again, we were over in Lenore last week seeing Tug Valley and Mingo take on each other, and Tug Valley's B team did win that contest against Mingo last week, with Mingo taking the C team and the A team contest. But this Tug Valley team looked very good last week. I've seen this Danville team a couple of times in B team. They've been very solid as well. So this should be a pretty evenly matched contest because you've got playmakers on both sides of the ball that can really create something out of nothing and head for big touchdown runs if they're not accounted for.
Absolutely. Guys, we want to thank our sponsors for today's events. Trend Services, Juanita's Mexican Grill in Danville, JK Auto Cores and Recycling. And that's the 3 main sponsors for the event. You can see them up in the top left-hand corner of your screen. And then you'll see all of our sports scrolling at the bottom, and also all of our sponsors you'll see at the beginning of games and halftime and post games in the middle of your screen sponsoring, guys. And we can't do none of this without our sponsors, Chris.
Absolutely. So like you said, Kevin, again, we send out a big appreciation to everyone that's helped us bring Youth League football to you this season, whether it's regular season or now as we head into postseason. Again, it is an 8-team playoff in each bracket. And as we said, this is the B team, so this is the 4 versus 5 matchup. As you look through some of the rest of the bracket on that side, Tulsa and Lincoln is the 1 versus 8, with Tulsa being the 1. Gilbert and Chapmanville, the 3-6 matchup, and Logan and Mingo, the 2 versus 7 matchup. So that is the B team bracket overall, and with Tug Valley and Danville on the top half of that bracket, both looking to pull off the win here today and then set up an opportunity to see if they can pull off the upset against top-seeded Tulsa next week. So it will be Danville to receive the kickoff first. As you see, Tug Valley puts it on the ground, trying to get a nice little spinner as we're underway here. Ball loose on the field at about the 49. As it looked like Danville got back on top of it, and they were able to. So it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Hawks from right about midfield. Again, it's 8-minute quarters here in Youth League football, if this is your first time joining us this season. You'll see a little bit of a different variation whenever we get to the C team in the following game, which will explain some of the little eccentricities that go on in the younger division after that.
Yeah, guys, if you're tuning in, hit that like and share button. Let's get these numbers up for these young kids. I wish when I was little I had like something to give me an exposure like this. It's cool to have, D&D in the house doing Youth League football.
Yeah, me personally, I'm glad they weren't around whenever that was there. I would have got like reverse offers somehow. They would have been asking me not to play anymore. As they handed off on 1st down, coming near side, trying to break out of the tackle, but going down is Titan Kennedy for a short loss on the play, as he's been one of the 3 big playmakers in the backfield for Danville all season long.
I know next time, Chris, they put me and you together and I've got to come over here at Chapmanville. We're going to meet about 4 or 5 hours early out here at Chapmanville. We're going to play some golf.
Oh, I was about to say, for what, Kevin?
He's like, I'm not coming up here.
I was going to say, I don't know what kind of pregame you got in mind here.
We're going to do a lot of interviews.
I was about to say, we're firing up the grill and everything.
Cookout. We're going to tailgate.
I was going to say, I'm not averse to that. So that'll be 2nd down 11 as Jax Price, the quarterback, will climb under center. He'll look to hand it off, gives it to the far side, trying to get to the corner is Robinette. Robinette turns the corner at midfield, but doesn't get a whole lot extra as he's pushed out along the Tug Valley sideline after about a 3 or 4 yard gain. Yeah, again, you mentioned you went golfing already today.
No, not today. Yesterday.
Yesterday, excuse me.
Yeah, we went yesterday, and me and Coach May went to Clear Fork. I tell you what, man, I was really impressed the way Clear Fork looked yesterday. The greens were great. they're letting them grow out a little bit for fall weather, but I mean, it was. I was really impressed with the golf course.
Yeah, it's always been one of my favorite places to go to. And so I was supposed to go tomorrow morning, but it looks like God and the weather have got other plans right now. So
yeah, Monday and Tuesday, I've seen that, and.
Yeah, so I guess it's good news for Esquire. They're not going to have to get their course torn up by me tomorrow. But now it's 3rd down and 8 for the Hawks as they'll hand it off. Nice little hole on the inside, and Kennedy able to bounce it up in there. Actually, Levi Haley, the ball carrier that time, but he's going to be stopped after about a 3-yard gain. So it's going to be 4th and 5 now, and you figure this is probably going to be a part of the field where they'll elect to go for it.
So. I agree. I mean, it's playoff football, man. This win or go home now, right?
Yep, and that's what we said. Trying to punt right here. You may gain a little bit of field position, but obviously in 8- and 9-year-old divisions, you don't have too many kids out here bombing 30, 40, 50-yard kicks. So you kind of weigh the risk-reward right here if you're Danville, and they're going to elect to go for it. And if you're Tug Valley, you got to watch a hard count right here because Price will likely try and go to that to see if they can induce a cheap 5 yards. Price gets under center here on 4th down. He'll hand it off deep, coming near side, and flag comes in, and Kennedy was stopped just a yard short of the 1st down. We'll check on the penalty flag, and if it's on Danville, then that'll be a turnover on downs.
It was in the area of holding. That's what it's going to be, Chris.
Yeah, again, that's usually what you get right there in that area, and Tug Valley able to hold on their first defensive possession here today, so they'll get the ball for the first time and a chance to try and take the lead early.
And what we say, this is the 4 or 5 matchup?
Yes, sir.
And this is Danville's the 4 or Tug Valley?
That is a good question. Yeah, they didn't have them labeled on the website whenever I went to look at them today, but just knowing my March Madness bracket history, I said I was able to decipher what most of it meant whenever I was looking at it. Yeah, it's kind of like an 8-9 matchup in March Madness. You're like, there's really not a whole lot between these teams either way. So,
but it always scares the 1 seed when they got to match up with one of them 8-9s because the 8-9 matchups are usually 2 pretty good teams.
Oh, always. And like I said, we've seen so many good teams in the area in all 3 of these divisions all year long. So for this to be a 4-5 matchup is a pretty tough draw for Tulsa in the next round either way. It's on 1st down. Looked like a little bit of confusion for Tug Valley as just rushing straight into the line for a couple of yards on the play. That looked to be Cash Dotson.
And we got to cover him last week, and he was our player of the game. I actually got an interview with him at halftime. He had a heck of a B-team game last week against Mingo.
Yeah, he and Carson Kirk both had a huge game against Mingo last week. I think Kirk had a couple interceptions. Dotson had a couple of touchdowns as well. They ended up winning that game going away near the end. It finished 30-16, but Tug Valley had a pretty comfortable lead throughout most of that second half. They'll come to the line of scrimmage here with 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Dotson will go under center this time. He'll hand it off to Kirk, rushing far side, and he's swallowed up, grabbed by the legs. Does a good tackle that time by Grayson Hensley, able to limit that to just 2 yards.
Big hit there from the Hawks defender.
Like we said, the defenses are going to be huge here today because you got Dotson and Kirk on Tug Valley's side that can do a lot of damage. You got 3 or 4 backs on Danville's side that can do damage. So the defense that's able to step up and limit the big plays here today could be the big difference. But now Tug Valley's going to face a 3rd down and 7 here from the Rome 45-yard line after getting the turnover on downs on Danville on their opening possession. Out of the shotgun is Dodson. He'll rush near side, gets away from the first pursuer, trying to get towards the sideline, breaks out of another tackle, lowers his shoulders, and he's going to be right at the 1st down marker. He might have it, Kevin.
Big hit he took there at the end, too, from another Hawks defender. But I'm like you. I think he got the first.
Yeah, that right there was just an all-or-nothing play on both sides. Again, you saw the defender and Dodson both come in at full speed, and Dotson was able to just barely win the race to the 1st down. So it'll be 1st and 10, first down of the game for either side. But if you're Danville, you still want to have that type of defense throughout the day. Like we said, limiting the big plays. If they get 3-4 yards of play and they can methodically march it downfield without turning it over, I think you almost have to accept that if you're either side.
Absolutely.
Under center goes Dotson on 1st and 10. Went with a hard count and instead may have gotten his own line tripped up. And, yeah, it'll be a false start against Tug Valley. So you saw a little flinch along the right side of the line that time for Tug Valley. So that'll push it back to 1st and 15 as they wind the clock here with 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Danville's got a big front four, man. Number 99 is a monster out there for the Hawks.
Yeah, Blake Turner, he's had a big season for Danville up front. Yeah, he's one of those kids, he gets a hold of you. It's hard to break out of his grasp. Now here comes Tug to the line of scrimmage on 1st and 15. So push back onto their side of the 50. They'll hand it off deep. Hit is the running back Kirk on the play. Is coming up is Leland Adkins to help make the stop after a pickup of about 2.
And it was big 99 there on the tackle from behind. Like you talked, he's had a big season.
So like we said, we haven't seen anybody be able to shake free for anything substantial thus far on either side. So again, controlling the line of scrimmage, it's going to be huge in this game. Right now the defensive lines on both sides getting slightly the better of it. Dotson will go under center, 3 backs in the backfield. He'll fake it, keeping himself, rushing to the outside. He's got a lane out there if he can get there, but he's dragged down from behind by Price. What a tackle by Price.
Big defensive tackle by Price. I mean, he don't make that tackle. Cash has got all kinds of room on the outside.
Yeah, you just saw nothing but green grass out in front of Dotson on the far side, and Price was the only one standing between him and probably a 20-plus yard gain that time. And a huge tackle by the 9-year-old. It'll make it 3rd down and about 13 again here, and they say no gain on the carry. But yeah, tackling's going to be so huge today on both ends. And right there you saw a one-on-one opportunity, and Price was able to win that battle. Now Dotson and company come to the line of scrimmage. Neither side put it in the air yet thus far here in the first quarter. We'll see if this is the time for Tug Valley as they go empty in the backfield. A little confusion as they line up. And Dotson goes with a hard count. Wow.
He got him to jump.
And again, it was a great hard count there by Dotson. He does get a cheap 5 yards. So now this makes it 3rd down a lot more manageable for Tug Valley. Maybe even creates a 4-down situation now for the Panthers instead of having to look to punt. That is if they don't convert here, and now we get another flag coming in. And this is going to eliminate those 5 yards and move Tug Valley back. So they do the cha-cha across the 50 and back across the other side of the 50 now.
I was about to say something to that matter. Because I mean, we move 5, back 5, front, right, and not a play red.
Yeah.
And this one goes to the refs.
As the clock continues to go here in this rapidly moving first quarter, as Dotson will bring him back to a 3rd and 13 once again trying to get everyone aligned. So they'll have 3 blockers out to the near side if they choose to run a sweep this way. Dotson tries to go with a hard count. Danville holds this time as Dotson will run that sweep near side. Looking to follow some blockers. Got some room inside the 40. Down to the 35. Gets out of a tackle and stumbles out of bounds with a 1st down.
I tell you what, this kid is not only fast and he's just a heads-up smart kid. As I was watching him break toward the sideline there, he took the ball from his right hand and put in his left hand.
Yeah.
This is the side, if he loses the ball. It's just smart. You don't see many kids at that level do that.
And I think we talked about that some last week, just the little heads-up plays that you love to see. And even me as a Bengals fan, we talked about it last week. All 3 of us were, we like seeing T. Higgins make that smart play.
That's awesome.
Yeah, at the end of the game on Thursday.
Well, he knew that, securing a win, which is not secure, but if we would have scored a touchdown there, there's no doubt in my mind Aaron Rodgers would have went down and scored.
Absolutely.
So I was glad he slid because, I mean, I would have rather kick the field, take the chance and kick the field and go home with the win, and we did.
I was thinking the same thing when he did it. I was like, thank God. They'll give it off to Kirk now. Kirk breaks to the outside. He's got room to the 10, the 5, and Tug Valley takes the lead on a 31-yard touchdown run by Carson Kirk.
Touchdown, Panthers. And this young man had a game last week, too, when we was there, Chris.
He did. Like we said, he had 2 interceptions. One he brought all the way back to the 1-yard line.
Almost 2 pick sixes, right?
Yeah, the other one he did take all the way to the house for a pick 6. So there we finally see the dam break on one side. As Danville gave good resistance on that drive, but Tug Valley finally able to break through. As they score on their opening possession, now they look to go for 2. Try and build this to an 8-0 lead. As Dodson will operate out the shotgun. He'll roll out, looking to throw under pressure, and he's going to get sacked back at about the 8-yard line. Good job coming up and making the play by Grayson Hensley. We'll step aside for a quick break and be back after this as you're watching Youth League football action right here on the D&D Sports Network.
Here at Logan Bank and Trust, we are committed to serving the needs of the Southern Coalfields.
For any of your financial needs, we encourage you to stop by one of our 5 convenient locations or apply online today at lbnt.com.
Whether you choose to stop by or visit us online, our team is here to help you every step of the way.
Buying a new home, expanding your business? Choose Logan Bank and Trust. Let's bank together.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
A 31-yard touchdown run for Carson Kirk gives Tug Valley the early lead. Chris Kidd and Kevin Jones here with you today on the D&D Sports Network. As this is B-Team playoffs, first round in this 8-team tournament pool. And single elimination winner go home now for all these teams. As Tug Valley's set to kick off, it'll be Isaiah Stanley. Put his right foot into it. Again, you do see both sides typically try and go onside, see if they can steal an extra possession. As Stanley will kick one a little bit over the head, gets off the hands of one man, takes a hop back. It's loose, and now we've got a stranglehold on the football right at about the 45-yard line. Look to be at the same time, and they're going to give the tiebreaker to Danville.
Wow, I thought that was Tug Valley all the way, but you can't. That Danville kid jumped in there and at the bottom of the pile snatched it back.
Boy, that was bang, bang right there on the pile. And it looked to be maybe Zayden Green who was the one that was able to dive on top of that for Danville at the last second. But, boy, that could have been disastrous for the Hawks.
We want to thank Trend Services, Juanita's Mexican Grill in Danville, and JK Auto Cores and Recycling. And also want to thank United Motorsports that has locations in Danville, Logan, Belfry, and Pikeville for sponsoring today's events.
Yeah, and I think I saw Smokey in here already today.
I seen him down there. I'm about to go hit him up for my shirt.
Yeah, I told you I wore mine loud and proud this week over to school and everywhere else. I appreciate it, Smokey.
Yeah, he's a great dude. He thought JJ was going to be there because JJ's out of town with Ashley right now on the coon hunting event, and he thought they said JJ, and so JJ's significantly smaller than that. So they brought like an extra small shirt there that looked like it would fit one of these kids out here, and I was like, no way.
We just need to give JJ another 10 years on that. Yeah. So we're going to sweep out outside. Kennedy in a lot of trouble here. He's going to get dragged to the ground, trying to hang on to the football as Kirk tried to rip it free, and he did!
Oh, wow, Tug Valley's got it, Chris.
Wow, Kirk just took the ball away from Kennedy. And it's a turnover for Tug Valley, and they'll have it in Danville territory when we come back. As a flag going to be thrown on the Danville bench as well here after the fact. And we'll be back after this as you're watching youth football action on the D&D Sports Network.
Looking for a new healthcare provider? Come see us at Tug Valley Wellness Clinic. We take all patients from the ages 2 and up. Our staff has over 30 years of medical experience. We do everything from DOT physicals, wellness exams, adult and child, walk-in visits, and more. Call us today at 304-236-3601 and reach us Monday through Friday.
At Logan Regional Medical Center, our comprehensive inpatient rehabilitation program helps get you back to living life. With an 8-bed unit for patients 18 and over, our caring team of doctors, nurses, and rehabilitation specialists work with you, providing a full line of services to help you restore your capabilities and get you back home and back to living. Logan Regional Medical Center, providing inpatient rehabilitation close to home.
Six to nothing Tug Valley as we start quarter number 2. Chris Kidd and Kevin Jones with you here today from Barker Stadium. This is our first of 3 playoff games. And right now, Tug Valley with a touchdown, and just a moment ago, Carson Kirk, who had the touchdown from 31 yards out, ripped the ball free from Kennedy, and they have it 1st and 2 at the 32 now. Again, this could be danger territory for Danville, Kevin, because Tug Valley scores, goes up 2 scores. Then you start looking at possession as well, and Tug Valley gets the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
Look at this formation. They got the quarterback coming in motion.
No.
He about lost it, but he's...
Yeah, that little bobble there may have cost him as Dotson couldn't quite get the handoff, and good pursuit upfield by Danville that time as Robinette and company able to come in and make the stop for a loss.
Yes.
Yes, like we said, defense, turnovers, things of that nature are going to be huge in this game between these 4 and 5 teams in this B team division. And so far, Tug Valley has the first big turnover caused in this game. But can the Panthers cash in here? And they nearly had it on the kickoff. Again, it was a great recovery by Danville at the last second. But on the very next play, they do get the turnover. So now they go back to Dotson under center. He'll hand it off to Kirk. Danville got inside that time, and good stop by the Hawks as they'll limit that to no gain on the carry. Like we said, Kirk, Dotson, both of them can get free and create havoc in a heartbeat. We've seen that already in this quarter near the end of that first drive, but Danville did a good job of bottling them up prior to those last 2 runs.
Yeah, Kirk's picking right up where he left off Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Causing havoc, making turnovers, scoring touchdowns.
That's what I said, playoff football, you've got to have your stars show up and be able to make plays in the biggest moments. And so far, Carson Kirk has done that and then some for Tug Valley.
And if I'm not mistaken, he was co-player of the game last week, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was Cash.
Yeah, I believe we just decided that both of them, along with Mingo Central, we had a couple players of the game with them too. I said sometimes you just have such a dynamic duo, it's hard to deny them. And now ball loose on the field, fumbled under center. Danville gets on top of it, and they have the turnover right back.
Wow.
That ball just got lost on the exchange between center and quarterback, and Dotson could not locate it underneath his feet, and Danville was able to dive on top of it, so a huge swing back towards Danville now.
Yeah, Danville needs to put a drive together here, Chris, and go down and punch this one in.
Yeah, right now, like you said, they desperately need to try and find something on offense as they haven't picked up a first down yet. They've run 5 offensive plays, turned it over on downs on their first series, and then the 1-play fumble on the last series. Now let's see if Price and the Hawks can get something together here on this 3rd possession. They'll give it off to Robinette. Robinette finds a crease across the 40, and he'll go down there for about a 4-yard gain. And that's what you want to have on first down on either side in this game. You just don't want to be behind the sticks because these defensive lines are tough. They tackle well. So you've got to find a way to get in front of the sticks and try and open up the playbook a little bit.
Absolutely. And guys, stick around after this game. We'll be coming back with B-team action, right?
C-team.
C-team with Chapmanville and Sherman.
Yes, sir. And we already see Sherman fans and Chapmanville fans both piling in here. We've got Danville and Tug Valley fans already here today.
I always get confused on the B and C because it just seems like me you should play CBA.
Yeah, they like to just play it out of order just to keep us on our toes. As Kennedy with a nice little spurt out close to the 45-yard line as he kept his hand on the ground and was able to dive forward for a couple extra, and it'll be now 3rd and 1 for the Hawks. So Kennedy, good job by him coming back after having the ball taken away from him on the last possession by Kirk. That's what you like to see, too. Again, a lot of times, especially, I mean, it happens in every level, but, you know, youth league especially, you can beat yourself up over one play and let it affect the rest of the game. And Kennedy, a lot of strong mental toughness there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to forgive and forget at this level. And I talked about it last night with Mingo Central's quarterback. He went back-to-back turnovers, and he forgot because that young man went off.
They'll hand it off and fumbled snap this time, or fumbled exchange between Price and Robinette, and that's going to be a loss on the play. So now it's going to be 4th and about 2, and this is a tough spot of the field here, Kevin. As if you punt it here, you're probably going to gain some yardage, but like we said, it's very difficult not to want to try and go for it here on a 4th and 2.
You got an official's timeout.
It looks like Robinette had some equipment issue.
And what I was talking about Mingo Central's quarterback forgive and forget last night was that they was on the 1 and he fumbled. He was about ready to punch it in and fumbled. Logan got recovered. The next possession, he threw a pick. After that, the young man threw for 450 yards, 3 touchdowns, and rushed for 80 yards and 4 touchdowns. He had 7 total touchdowns, so he forgot.
I was going to say, that's one way to forget a mistake real quick. You have that big of a night right there. So yeah, that's it's one of the things that, you know, no matter what sport it is, mental toughness just comes into play so often, and you just have to forget. And I said, even the good things you got to forget and just move on to the next play and be ready for what's to come next. And what's next now is a big 4th and 2. As they'll hand it off to Kennedy, nice jump step, cuts back inside, and he's going to have it. Wow, what a couple of moves!
Yes, well, if he don't make that cutback and that juke move, he is stopped. What a move!
Again, the first juke got him away from the first tackler, and the second juke got him just enough space away from Kirk, as Kirk made a great tackle on the feet that time, but gave Kennedy just enough space to dive forward for that first down. So that is huge now as well, with the clock working in Danville's favor a little bit too, because like we said, Tug Valley gets the ball to start the 3rd quarter. So if you're Danville, you'd love to make this perhaps the last possession of the half and end up with a score, or at least close to the end of the half. Now Price will come under center on 1st down. Big rush up the middle as they give it off to Haley, and he's got nowhere to go as Tug Valley broke down the line of scrimmage in a hurry.
We talked about Danville's interior size earlier. Tug Valley's got some interior size too.
Yeah, we mentioned they've got a couple of big beefy boys on the inside as well, with Stanley, along with big number 60, Hunter James. And we talked about them a little bit last week against Mingo. And it just takes so much for your offensive line because, you know, having a one-on-one blocker with one of those guys has got to be a nightmare.
Yes.
Down to 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Price checks around. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 47. They'll hand it off to Robinette. Tries to lower his head and hide behind his lineman, but Tug Valley finds him after about a 1-yard pickup, and it'll bring up 3rd and 9 as Danville's going to use their first timeout with 2:13 to go in the 2nd quarter. We'll be back after this as you're watching Youth League football right here on the D&D Sports Network.
It's wintertime rearing its ugly head. You don't want to be stuck on the side of the road alone. Let Western Auto make sure your vehicle is up to date and ready for the harsh winters of southern West Virginia. Also, don't forget Western Auto is a certified steel dealer. So just in time for the holiday season, put a smile on your loved one's face. Come see us at Western Auto in Kermit, West Virginia. Let us take care of all your automotive needs.
Come on down to Ultimate Pond, located in Kermit, West Virginia, where we have all your firearm needs. Need cash? Trade in your gold today. From custom rifles and rifles accessories to the bare bone stock of pistols, we have it all. Come see us today at Ultimate Pond.
Welcome back, everyone, to Barker Stadium. Big 3rd down here, Chris, for Danville.
Yeah, 3rd and 9 here as Danville used their first timeout with 2:13 to go here in the first half. So they could likely be looking at 4-down territory here again as they'll pitch it out. Robinette trying to get to the corner, gets to midfield and falls forward. Good game for Robinette, but it's still going to be 4th down and about 4 here for the Hawks as they pick up 5 on that play. But it does create a couple of options here now for Danville. Again, if you're Tug Valley, you got to be cognizant of that hard count again. But I like that play by Danville trying to run away from the middle, away from the big interior defenders from Tug Valley. Now the clock ticks down, 1:35. Danville has 2 timeouts. Tug Valley with all 3 still in their back pocket. They'll operate under center. 3 backs in the backfield here for Danville. It looked like somebody flinched, and let's see, Tug Valley definitely came across, and they're going to say encroachment on Tug Valley.
Good hard count by the Danville quarterback to get the first down here. Now they, I think they was going kind of slow there. If they didn't get the first down, they ate up a lot of the clock.
Yeah.
Now it's go time, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm like you. I said it was good use of time right there. After the 3rd down play, bleeding the clock down some. Now you've got 2 timeouts in 1:20 from the 42, so you've got a good amount of time here and timeouts to help do something. We talked about it, said they had to be watching out for the hard count. And right there, Tug Valley gets drawn off for the 2nd time. As Price goes under center. He'll pitch it out wide. Kennedy.
Oh, wow.
Finds a gap. He's to the 40, trying to get outside. Gets away from the tackler. Inside the 25-20. Kennedy to the 15, and he's finally spun down inside the 20-yard line as he got away from Dotson first and able to create the biggest gain of the day for the Hawks.
Nice run and breaking tackle, showing the strength there by Kennedy.
Wow, that was a great run as the clock winds now with 1:08 and 2 timeouts still for Danville, but they don't have to be in a hurry just yet. Like we said, this would be perfect for Danville if they could get a score right here. As Tug Valley gets the ball to start the 3rd, but they could go in either tied or in the lead if they can punch one in here. As we said, this is playoff action, do or die here today for both sides as Kennedy gets it on the outside, breaks out of a tackle again. He got away from Kirk, plunges his way down towards the 10-yard line, and a nice gain of about 8 as Danville will call for time with 39.2 seconds. So now you've got a 2nd and 3, it looks like officially here. They need the 7. No, they're going to say just outside the 10. So about a 2nd and 2.5, 2nd and 3 here, Kevin, for Danville. And they've got 1 timeout still in their back pocket here. But like we said, 39 seconds go pretty quick in youth league football. I said, yeah, we've seen, like Mingo had a really good hurry-up offense last week, an A-team that we saw whenever they got on the field.
I'm telling you, that Mingo A-team, that was run smoother than some of the high school programs I've seen.
Exactly, yeah. I agree. I was very impressed with how quick they got to the ball and the way they lined up. If you get a chance to watch them in the playoffs here on D&D, I said, they're a treat to watch. Yeah. I said, I think the offense only snapped the ball a handful of times in the first half last week because they had pick sixes left and right and just were able to run away with that game.
Let's give a shout-out to our sponsors, Trend Services, Juanita's Mexican Grill in Danville, JK Auto Cores and Recycling, and also want to thank United Motorsports with locations Danville, Logan, Belfry, and Pikeville.
Now Price will go under center, 2nd and short. They'll give it off to Robinette. He should have the first down, and he'll get it down to about the 5-yard line. So 33.5 on the clock as time stops, and Danville will burn their final timeout now with 33.5 seconds. So we'll step aside for a quick break and be back after this as you're watching Youth League football here on the D&D Sports Network.
Smokey Armstrong here from United Motorsports of Belfry. Looking for your next adventure? We've got the motorcycles, side-by-sides, and ATVs needed to take your riding to the next level. Whether you're hitting the track, enjoying the trails, exploring the open road, or seeking comfort and style, we've got you covered with trusted brands like Honda, Polaris, and Kawasaki. At United Motorsports, we're not just about selling power sports, we're passionate about helping you find the perfect ride. Our team will work with you to customize your vehicle, offer expert advice, and provide top-notch service. No matter where your adventure takes you, ready to get started? Call us at 606-237-7311 or visit www.unitedmotorsportsbelfry.com, or stop by today. Your next ride is waiting.
First and goal for Danville now with 30 seconds to go in the first half. They give it to Robinette, gets out of a tackle, in a race to the corner, cuts back inside, is fighting for the end zone, and now flags come flying in from every direction with 25.2 seconds to go. And that's a big flag either way now because that at least stops the clock.
I think it's a face mask call. I've seen it grab from right here, and that's going to be a defensive penalty. So like you said, that's going to stop the clock, and it's going to give probably first and goal from about the half-yard line.
Yeah, I'm like you. I was thinking maybe that would be a face mask too in that area. But the officials come forward, and now they do signal face mask against Tug Valley. So a huge, costly mistake for Tug Valley right there.
Like I said, they're right there about, on the half-yard line?
Now they signal to wind the clock with under 25 seconds. Again, Danville has no timeouts, so they've got to go here. Again, if they don't get in on this play, they're going to have to be in a big hurry. Down to 15, 14, 13, time ticking away. This could be the final play of the half. As Price fumbles the snap, tries to fling forward, but he didn't get in, and time's going to possibly run out here as we're down to 5, down to 4, down to 3. And the officials now wind the clock. Again, they stop the clock for a moment, but that's going to run out the half. And what a tough blow for Danville as they fumble the snap at the 1 as Price desperately tried to get in, but his knee hit the ground. And Tug Valley dodges a huge bullet, and they lead it 6-0 as we head to halftime. We'll be back for the start of the second half after this break as you are watching Youth League football here on the D&D Sports Network. Start of the second half here in this first playoff game of the evening from Barker Stadium. Chris Kidd and Kevin Jones here with you as Tug Valley leads at 6-0. Again, it was a 31-yard touchdown run by Carson Kirk. Danville had their chance at the end of the half, Kevin, but a fumble at the 1-yard line and the clock running out spoiled any chances for Danville to try and tie or take the lead.
Absolutely, man. That's a crusher. Hopefully they can overcome that because that can mentally bring you down. You get all the way down to the half-yard line and you don't punch it in before the half.
Absolutely. And now, just to compound that problem, they will give the ball back over to Tug Valley to start the third quarter. Again, both teams had a turnover in the first half, but nothing came from it on either side. Now we'll see it's Danville's strategy to try and go onside. They'll kick it short as knocked around, still crawling for it, and Tug Valley may have finally got back on top of that. As making the attempt to get that was Jackson Dempsey. And he had to take a couple of long lunges to try and get to that, as we've seen a couple of near onside kick recoveries here today. Again, Tug Valley nearly had one after their touchdown score earlier in the first half. But now they get the ball and looking to try and take a two-possession lead in what has been a big defensive struggle thus far. As we said, there's athletes all over the field for both sides, but the defense has done a great job for Tug Valley and Danville on bottling them up. There's really just two big runs by Kirk and Dotson that have made the difference so far. As Dotson keeps it to the outside, gets away from one man trying to get to the corner, but there's Price again. Wow, and I tell you what, Jax Price is not as big as Kirk or Dotson, but he's been able to bring both of them down in open space by himself.
Very impressive. Because them kids, we've got to cover them. They're hard to bring down in space. And this young man looks like he's doing it with ease.
That's what's been impressive. He's got to be giving up a good 30 pounds to both those guys. And he's still been able to make the tackle when he's been one-on-one in space. Normally in that spot, you're just like, look, just trying to occupy him until some help can arrive. But Jax Price just said, no, I've got it. So that's a nice 3-yard loss created by him.
And like we talked about, every one of his tackles has been for loss.
Well, that's a big one to start the drive. We talked about both teams wanting to play in front of the sticks, but it's been tough with defensive plays like that. But now Kirk finds a little gap up along the far side, follows a couple of blockers, and plunges his way out across the 50 as the ball came out at the end. Or excuse me, it was Dotson on the carry. But Dotson still able to pick up good yardage, create a third down at about 6.
I tell you, Chris, you have really good eyes because I can't tell through this screen zooming in who has it.
That's why I told them up here. I've been doing games here for 20-some years now. I said, I guess I've just gotten used to the window situation.
You must have a magnifying glass through the window. You had them put it in for you.
I told him, I said, I've still got 20/20 vision according to the eye doctor occasionally. Although my hearing doctor, I told him, I said, my favorite word is huh.
I was about to redo that.
Even when I hear somebody, huh?
I don't think it's a hearing problem with it. I think it's just not paying attention and really don't.
Yeah, it's a delayed reaction. Yeah. It's a third down and 6. For Tug Valley, they'll hand it off to Kirk. He has some space for one of the few times today. Fighting towards the first down. He's going to be right at it. This could all end up on the spot.
It's first down.
So they do go ahead and say first down. But, yeah, Kirk, he's going to be slow to get up. He took a shot from the front and then took one right in the back as he was trying to get forward that time. So he got pinballed around by the Danville defense and got hit 4 or 5 times on that carry. 5:50 to go here in the third quarter. So we have Chapmanville and Sherman coming your way next in a 2 versus 7 matchup on the C team side. So make sure you stay tuned with us for that. Again, this is a 4 versus 5 matchup in the B team division. Again, it's an 8-team playoff. Winner moves on to the semifinal next week against likely Tulsa, who's the 1 seed on this side. Dotson trying to put his receivers a little further out. He keeps it himself right up the gut, pushing forward, but now a flag comes flying in. They just want to try and get some positive yardage on first down, but they may be moving back 10 yards. And that'll be a block in the back against Tug Valley.
Wow.
And I tell you, that has to happen pretty quick.
That's what I was about to say. To get a block in the back that quick, that's a
Yeah, it was someone that just got beat pretty bad right off the bat on that carry as they wind the clock with 5:13 to go here in the third quarter. But as we said, with first downs and yardage being pretty limited so far in this game, 10-yard penalties almost crippling.
Excuse me.
Again, if you're Tug Valley, again, you've got no problem running clock here. They've already got 3 minutes off the clock. Again, you're looking at it as a shortened game right now if you're on their side. We have to find a way to get 16 minutes off that clock and keep them off the scoreboard. And if they can do that with some of their offense, that's a big bonus. As here comes a nice run by Dotson. He's into the clear. 35-30. He's down the sideline. Dotson goes in, and a huge score for the Panthers.
He just needs one little crease, Chris, and he is gone.
And he found the opening off that left side and was able to break into the secondary, and once he was there, he was just too big and too fast for the Danville defenders, and now some breathing room for Tug Valley. We are at 4:32 to go in the third quarter. The Panthers will go for two. They were stopped on their first 2-point attempt here today. Dotson will line up in the shotgun. He'll keep it off the left side, tries to get away, but Turner there to make the stop for Danville and keeps it a 12-0 game with 4.5 minutes to go in the third. We'll be back after this as you're watching Youth League playoff football action right here on the D&D Sports Network.
If you got a big job to get done, don't just trust any flagging service. Call Diamond Flagging Service. Diamond Flagging Service keeps your community safe while also making sure it stays moving. Give Diamond Flagging Service a call today for their services. They also offer amazing job opportunities. Diamond Flagging Services, proud supporter of the Mountain Athletes.
Back here live from Barker Stadium in Chapmanville, West Virginia. Tug Valley jumps out 12-0 with 4:30 left here in the third quarter. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors for tonight's games. Trend Services, Juanita's Mexican Grill of Danville, and JK Auto Cores and Recycling.
This kickoff will come down at the 46-yard line, fielded there by Danville. As Robinette able to swallow it up, and now Danville's got a hill to climb as they trail at 12-0, nearly midway through this third quarter. Chris Kidd and Kevin Jones with you. And again, it was the duo of Kirk and Dotson who have scored the touchdowns here today for Tug Valley.
The dynamic duo.
Yeah, those two have been tough all season long, and right now trying to carry their club to the semifinals of this B-team tournament. Danville had a good drive that they put together on their last series, but had it stall at the 1-yard line as time ran out in the first half. So this is almost a must drive here for the Hawks as Price will pitch it back. Kennedy tries to turn up field, finds a crease. It stumbled up, and he's finally tripped up at about the 49-yard line. And boy, if he was able to keep his feet there, that could have turned into a huge gain.
Nice tackle by, was it Cash Dotson?
Yeah, I believe it was Dotson once again on that side, able to help make the stop. It's limited to a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 now for Danville. Price will come to the line of scrimmage. Again, they've got blockers set up to the left side of the line this time. Price will keep it, hands it off, and immediately met in the backfield as soon as the handoff was given to Halley. It's dropped for a loss on the play.
About took the handoff, Chris.
It looked like Cash Bentley who came in there and was able to make that stop. Yeah, I was like you. He nearly just took that handoff away. It'll be 3rd down and 8 now for Danville. Again, we've still yet to see either side put the ball in the air here in this game. Again, you don't see a ton of passing in B and C team action. Now if you're Danville, if you've got to play up your sleeve, now might be a good time to use it. So they'll hand it off to Robinette. He tries to get outside, but now flags come flying in from every direction. There's not a whole lot on that play. And this is going to go against Tug Valley, so a break for Danville.
I think it was another face mask, Chris.
Yeah, that'd be the second one of the day now against the Panthers. So we'll see how they mark this one off. It looks like they're going to say the full 15. So a big break for Danville gives them a new set of downs, and now they're down to the Tug Valley 38. Now they wind the clock with 2:52 to go in the 3rd quarter. Price with one back deep in the backfield will hand it off to Robinette. Robinette tries to bounce off a tackle, plunges forward, able to create some positive yardage there when it looked like there was none. He picked up 2, close to 3 on that carry. And now Danville's going to use a timeout, their first one of the second half with 2:33 to go. We'll be back after this as you're watching Youth League football on the D&D Sports Network.
Come on down to Treasures Unlimited in Kermit, West Virginia, and let us fill all your shopping needs. It's the holiday season. Don't be left without a gift to give. We got 90-day layaway, delivery. We got the best prices around. We will beat anybody's prices. We have a little bit of everything for everyone. 7 days a week we're open, Monday through Thursday, 10 to 6, Friday through Saturday, 10 to 7, Sunday, 11 to 6. Also, come find a treasure in our pallet bins. We got great deals. You never know what you'll find in our bins. That's Treasures Unlimited in Kermit, West Virginia. We look forward to seeing you.
Back to action here, 2nd down and 8 for the Hawks. They give it to Kennedy. He's got a big gap off the left side. Kennedy gets into the secondary, and Kennedy's gone. Danville right back into it on a 36-yard touchdown run.
Great timeout for the coach to design that play up, man. Right out of a timeout and get the touchdown, Chris.
Yeah, that right there, I was thinking that could be a costly timeout moving forward if they use their first of their 3, but if you use it and get a timeout out of it, I think you'll take that exchange rate every time.
Absolutely.
And now Danville, after giving up the opening drive kickoff or opening drive touchdown to start this 3rd quarter, gets it right back and going to go for 2 here. Again, Tug Valley was unsuccessful on both their 2-point attempts so far today. So if Danville gets this in, they're just a touchdown away from the lead now. Price goes under center. He'll pitch it back deep, but once again, there's a defender right there in the area, and that's going to get dropped for a big loss on the play. That's a great job breaking through. May have been Bentley once again, able to make that stop. So 12-6, Tug Valley leads it with 2:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back after this as you're watching Youth League football on the D&D Sports Network.
Getting ready for sports means protecting those eyes. Up to 90% of sport-related eye injuries can be prevented with proper eye protection. White Eye Care knows this and is committed to providing the best protective sportswear for your child's eyes. As a proud sponsor of our community sports programs, we want to see our kids protected, from the little ones up to the big leagues. Our huge selection of eyewear makes finding that perfect pair easy. So win big this season. Call White Eye Care in Logan for an appointment today.
Back here live from Barker Stadium, Chapmanville, West Virginia. Danville scores big here in the 3rd quarter, 12-6. Cuts into this Tug Valley lead. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors. Trend Services, Juanita's Mexican Grill of Danville, JK Auto Cores and Recycling, and United Motorsports with locations in Danville, Logan, Belfry, and Pikeville.
Chris Kidd here with you alongside me, Kevin Jones, as the exchange of touchdowns from both sides start this third quarter. Tug Valley took a 12-0 lead. Now Danville gets it right back. Looks like Turner, not quite sure where he wants to line up this kick from. He's gone down to line up a couple of times, and the coach has told him you got to move over here. So now this will be an onside attempt here for Danville. Both sides have had their difficulties recovering so far today, but this one, easy peasy. It's fielded right there at the 49-yard line by Tug Valley. That was just gobbled up by Kingston Gibson.
Well, I'd say you're happy, Chris, being a big Georgia fan. I looked a second ago. They was down 35-26, and I just now turned it back over. They're up 39-35 in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with it a little bit here. Again, not that I'm a Georgia fan by any stretch of the imagination, but we'll just say there's some incentive that I am a Georgia fan right now. Those of you out there probably get where I'm going with that. But yeah, we're kind of keeping an eye on some of the college scores too. You know, all that would do would be able to get me to the evening games where I'd be fans of about 4 other teams. So, you know, we'll keep up with Chris Kidd's addictions as we go throughout the evening. It'll be 1st and 10 here for Tug Valley in the backfield. Wow, nowhere to go for Dotson. He's swallowed up by Robinette, and you can feel a big momentum shift going on now, Kevin.
Yes, everything's swinging back over to the Danville side, and, you know, if they punch that in before the half, we're probably tied right now.
Yeah, I was going to say that 1-yard line fumble for Danville looming very large right now. As you said, they were on the verge of going in and tying it as the first half was coming to an end. They were out of timeouts, fumbled at the 1, they recovered, but time ran out and was able to preserve the 6-0 lead for Tug Valley at the half at that point. Now they both exchanged touchdowns here in the third quarter, and it's going to be 2nd down and 19. They give it off. Nice little burst initially for Kirk, but he's wrapped up after about a 4-yard pickup. Looked like he was destined for a big run there, Kevin, but Danville stopped it right in its tracks.
Yeah, they swarmed to the ball quick there, Danville did, because I was like you. I thought he was gone.
And again, once any of these runners gets through the initial line of scrimmage, it's definitely a hold-your-breath situation for the defense after that. You saw it with Kennedy on that run for Danville. We've seen it from both Dotson and Kirk on their touchdown scampers today. Now it's going to be 3rd and 15 for Tug Valley. Rolling out is Dotson, getting to the corner, cuts back inside, and now just gets what he can get as he goes sliding down short of the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down and 11 as we're down to 35 seconds and counting here in the third.
I think you got to punt it away here, don't you?
I kind of feel that way too. I mean, I know you're not going to pin them back deep more than likely, but again, 4th and 11, that's a big ask right here. And if you turn it over on downs, Danville starts out in their territory right away. So Tug Valley may just let this quarter run out and try and figure out what they want to do. Again, it's a tough spot to be in right now if you're the Panthers. So coaches let it run all the way down to 5.5 seconds, and they burn their first time out as they didn't want to take the 5-yard penalty for delay of game. But it'll be interesting now to see, Kevin, what Tug Valley elects to do as both sides have burned a timeout here in the third quarter.
I agree, man. I mean, you got a big decision here if you're Tug Valley. I mean, I say if you have a punter, you might get 10 or 15 yards out of him, but that's better than give it to him at the 35 instead of the 50, right? Yeah,
because I don't think returns are allowed in B team.
Yeah.
So I think it's just dead wherever the ball gets fielded or stopped at. In A team, obviously different. In C team, they don't even have kickoffs or punting.
Yeah, but you can, like C team, you can say I'm punting and they'll give you like 20 yards or something, right?
Yeah, it's like a 30-yard difference on that, which is huge. So I'd say if you had that rule in B team, I think it's not really a thought for Tug Valley now. They just go ahead and take the 30-yard flip and field position. But since you have to kick it, it does make this a little bit more of a tough situation to try and make a decision out of.
Yes.
So let's see what Tug Valley looks to do. It looks like they've got Kirk back, or Dotson back deep here.
So he might be trying to punt it.
Now he comes up a little bit, so it looks like Tug Valley is going to go for it here. As they'll line Dotson back a little bit deeper out of the shotgun. He'll roll back, looking to throw, fires over the middle, and incomplete. Again, he had a man out there and threw it off the back shoulder of one of the defenders, though, as Titan Kennedy was the one that was in coverage. It looked like maybe just a mix-up between him and his receiver on that play.
Yeah, Danville's going to get one play here before the end of the third quarter, and they're going to take over 1st and 10 right on about the 48-yard line, Chris.
Yeah, so this definitely has changed the complexion of this game. Tug Valley took a 12-0 lead. It really felt like that might be all they needed here today. But Danville has come storming back now here in the last half of the third quarter, getting a touchdown and now a turnover on downs. They'll essentially get a free play here with 0.8 of a second left in the quarter without having to have too much time run off heading into the fourth. This Price will go under center. As the flag comes out immediately, they'll hand it off to Robinette. He'll come near side as Robinette turns the corner, cuts back inside. He's down at the 39, but flags down immediately, typically in the area of procedure penalty, and it will be against Danville, and that will end the third quarter. So we'll step aside for a break and be back after this for the start of the fourth as you're watching Youth League football playoff action here on the D&D Sports Network.
If you're looking for a friendly and fun atmosphere to enjoy your daily cuisine, come to Cheech's Pizza in Lenore, West Virginia. Cheech's Pizza has world-renowned cheese sticks, delicious pizza, and the best subs in the pizza and pasta game. Don't forget to take advantage of our milkshake shop located inside. Bring your family down to meet ours. We are the place that treats you like family from the second you pull in the parking lot. We look forward to seeing you here at Cheech's Pizza. If you've been catering to an old injury, or you're tired of them nagging aches and pains, come by and see us at Hill Chiropractic. Dr. Brian Mallory is erasing the pain out of his patients' lives. We look forward to seeing you at one of our locations in Madison and Logan. Hill Chiropractic, making lives better. Come on down to Three Guys Pizza and Brew in Williamson, West Virginia. We're located on the corner of Harvey Street and 3rd Avenue. We got great deals on pizzas, sandwiches, and more. You get great service with great pricing. Enjoy your birthday or ball games with us here at Three Guys Pizza and Brew. Look forward to seeing you.
5 times is a charm. Congratulations to the awesome team at Precision Heating, Cooling, Electrical for earning its 5th National Best of the Best Award for Customer Satisfaction, the only HVAC company in West Virginia to earn our award for 5 straight years. If you need heating, cooling, electrical work, a fantastic generator, residential or commercial, done right at a fair price by honest experts, remember the name, Precision Heating, Cooling, Electrical. Visit PreciseHeatingCooling.com for an appointment. Precision, the best of the best, again.
Start of quarter number 4 now here from Barker Stadium in our first playoff game of the evening. Chris Kidd and Kevin Jones with you as Danville trails at 12-6. They have the ball, though, 1st and 15 after the penalty to end the third quarter. So pitch it back to Kennedy. Kennedy has some room. He's cross midfield. He's to the 40, 35, 30. He's got a little beat to the sideline and pushed out there by Dotson. And, man, this Danville club has sprung to life after going down 12-0, and now they're just 25 yards away from the equalizer.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Danville's coaching staff, I'm getting this Kennedy kid on the outside more. I mean, every time they've gave it to him on the outside, you know, the first time he scored, what, a 50-yard touchdown?
Mm-hmm.
And this one, what, 40-yard run?
Yeah, and this was after he had that ball ripped away from him in the first half for the only turnover by Danville in this game. And, boy, has he responded since then. And
he had a big pickup on that one, too, didn't he? Like 10 or 15 yards before it got stripped away.
Yeah, he was good into the secondary on that play as well. As now they're set to go. They spot him at the 23-yard line officially. It's Price under center. Gives it off to Robinette. He gets a push up front. Now another flag comes in. Let's see what this one is. Every time Danville's had a little bit of momentum on first down, they've had a penalty called on them, but Tug Valley's had a couple of face masks.
That's again on the Panthers. Wow, that's a personal foul And I think it's going to be half the distance to the goal from where it's at, though, right? So, I mean, it's still going to be, what, a 10-yard penalty?
Yeah, this will create 1st and goal now for Danville as they're just inside the 10-yard line as the clock winds now. Here with 7:47 to go in the fourth quarter. Danville trying to find the score to tie the game here. Gives it off to Robinette on the outside. Good pursuit by Tug Valley. Robinette, though, cuts back. Somehow gets 3 yards out of absolutely nothing.
Wow, Tug Valley had him stopped for about a 3-yard loss, and he just maneuvered his way for a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, and it really seems like Tug Valley's starting to wear down in this game, Kevin, and Danville really seems like they've gotten more of a boost as this game's gone along.
Yeah, it looks like they've got the momentum here to start this fourth quarter. For sure. And they had it all in the third quarter, too.
Yeah, I mean, I thought after they went up 12-0 Tug Valley that Danville was really looking down the barrel of almost the equivalent of a 4 or 5 touchdown deficit the way this game had gone. But, man, as things flipped in a big direction towards Danville here in about the last 10 minutes of this game. It's Price on 2nd and goal now under center. He'll give it off deep to Kennedy. Kennedy busts inside, fighting forward. He's at the goal line, and they're going to say he's down at the 1.
Wow. I thought he got in, but I see somebody else. No, they're going to mark him down to 1. I thought I seen some hands up there, but no. And this is where they was at earlier, Chris, and didn't make it in.
So now, like you said, in the second quarter, they were right at the 1-yard line as the half was coming to an end. They had run out of timeouts. Had the fumble on the snap and could not get up to run another play. But now here they are, 3rd and goal inside the 1-yard line and a chance to even this game up. Price will go under center. He'll hand it off deep to Robinette, pushes forward, and he's in. And Danville has tied the game at 12 with 6:05 to go in the fourth quarter. And now the 2-point conversion to come.
This is big time right here, Chris.
Neither side has had the 2-point conversion play to get in thus far today. Tug Valley got stopped on both their attempts. Danville got stopped moments ago on their first attempt. Now can Danville take the lead for the first time today? You hear the Hawk fans right down in front of us.
Fired up.
Trying to inspire their boys. You saw some of the coaches trying to fire the crowd up here too. And honestly, if I'm Danville, I'm just lining up and running right at them right now with the way they're getting a push off that offensive line.
Yeah, I'm finding big number 99 there on the right side, and I'm running off him.
So they've got Kennedy as the deep back this time. Price will pitch it wide, trying to get to the corner, doesn't have it, spins back, and Tug Valley's there to meet him. And 2-point conversion, no good once again. But we're tied at 12 now with 6:05 to play in regulation. We'll be back after this as you're watching Youth League football here on the D&D Sports Network.
Call 304-752-3474 and see Missy Birchfield at your good friends at State Farm in Logan, West Virginia. She gives out free insurance quotes, so make sure you see her at State Farm.
Back here live from Chapmanville, West Virginia, Barker Stadium. Danville makes a big push here in the second half and ties this game up 12-12. We want to thank our sponsors, Trend Services, Juanita's Mexican Grill of Danville, JK Auto Cores and Recycling, and also United Motorsports with locations in Danville, Logan, Belfry, and Pikeville.
Well, this has been a heck of a way to start playoff football here this evening as Danville has battled back from a 12-0 deficit. They're now tied at 12 with 6:05 to go in the fourth quarter. Chris Kidd here with Kevin Jones this evening, and this is our first of 3 games on the evening. We've got C-team action coming up next with the younger kids, so stay tuned as that'll be illegal touching on Danville, as that ball did not go 10 yards, let alone 5 yards.
That gives Tug Valley the ball right there, don't it?
Yeah, they're going to have excellent field position to start out this drive, as it'll be in Danville territory. And a chance for Tug Valley to try and rally back here, as they've taken a couple of swift uppercuts and knocks to the chin here in the last 10 or 15 minutes after taking that 12-0 lead, and the offense has just been stagnant ever since going up 12-0. So let's see if they can find something here with Kirk and Dotson. It really seems like Danville's keyed on those two here in the second half to try and slow them down. So I don't know if anybody other than those two has really touched the ball on offense.
I don't think so either. You know, Danville's, they've probably played each other during the season. They know that. So they're keying off on them.
So they'll be spotted at the 43-yard line of Danville as Dotson will take the snap. Runs the outside. He's hit and dropped in the backfield. Once again, Robinette breaks through and has the big hit for a 7-yard loss. And right now, running east and west for Tug Valley is just not netting any positivity.
No, they're going to have to try to get up the middle and get some yardage that way, because the speed of these Danville defenders is not letting them get the outside.
Now again, both teams have 2 timeouts remaining as well, as we head towards 5.5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. It's Tug Valley has been in the lead since the first quarter, but now Danville has caught them, and Danville's defense has caused a 2nd and 17 on that 7-yard loss. 3 backs in the backfield this time. They'll snap it back. They'll hand it off to Kirk. Kirk's hit and brought down.
Guess who? Big number 99.
That's Turner again coming in and making the stop as Tug Valley goes backwards once again. And now it's going to be set 3rd down and 19. And if you're Tug Valley, you just want to try and get something positive now, as they've had a couple of big runs with Kirk and Dotson today. Now would be a huge moment for that, but if you're Tug Valley, you just want to have something positive happen, because everything has just been going downhill for Danville in the second half, right? As Danville's been running downhill, so to speak, here in the second half. And everything for Tug Valley's been like pushing a boulder up a hill.
Yeah, all the momentum is flipped to Danville.
So now it'll be 3rd down and 19. They'll operate out of the shotgun, kept by Dotson. He gets to the outside. He's to the 45 and gets inside the 45, down to about the 42. So now that's a huge play, though, Kevin. It does give them a chance to go for it here on 4th down.
Yeah, it makes 4th down more manageable, Chris. I mean, you get to right around, it was what, 4th or 3rd and 20, you get down to what, 4th and 8, 4th and 9?
Yeah, it looks like they're going to make it about 4th and 9 overall here, but he did get about 10 of those yards back. So they get half of it back and then some. 3:45 to go here in the 4th. This could be the play of the game coming up. Danville can get the stop. They get it back in good field position. Tug Valley a 1st down sets them up with a great chance to drive in, but now a false start.
It's going to push them back 5 more yards.
Well, now that changes the complexion of this a lot if you're Tug Valley. So now would you elect to punt in this spot?
They didn't earlier, so I don't see them doing it now. You?
I don't either, to be honest, even with it being 4th and 14. Again, you're under 3.5 minutes to play now. And it looks like Danville wants to use their 2nd timeout with 3:22 to go. So we'll step aside and be back right after this as you're watching Youth League football playoff action here on the D&D Sports Network.
If you was pushed out of the area because of loss of work in the coal industry, look no longer. Jim Marr is here for you. Jim Marr is now hiring for all positions in the coal field. Stop by their offices in Logan, West Virginia or in Wheeling, West Virginia and apply today. Stop by Eric Homa Drug today and let them fill your prescription. Eric Homa Drug has been serving the Chapmanville community for over 46 years. They're a proud supporter of the Chapmanville Tigers and all mountain athletes.
Down and 14 now for Tug Valley. out of the timeout. Chris Kidd here, Kevin Jones alongside me as Tug Valley now flag comes in right as the snap was called, and it's going to be a false start against Tug Valley. So after it was 4th and 9, Kevin, back-to-back false starts now. Moved it back to 4th and 19.
I think you about have to punt now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think maybe you just got to try and kick it. Maybe you get a little bit of field position out of it.
Because you're going to give Danville the ball right here on the 40, about midfield. I mean, with 3:20 to go, and the way they've been pushing the ball down.
So I said the way they've run the ball in the last 2 possessions, Danville's been able to get downfield in a hurry, but Tug's still going to go for it here on 4th and 19. They'll go to the far side. Nothing but yellow jerseys out there, and it's going to be a big loss again on the play. And the Danville side and defense has been superb here in the second half.
That worked out even better for them. They got about 5 or 6 more yards of a loss out of that. So Danville's going to take over around the 44-yard line, Chris, with a chance to go win this ball game with 3 minutes to go.
And it does. It just looks like Tug Valley is gassed right now on both sides of the ball. And now Danville has it 1st and 10 at the 44, and they just pushed Tug Valley around on the last possession. Can they do it again here to try and take the lead? Tug Valley late to get a substitute on here, but Price loses the snap. And let's see if he got back on top of it or not. It looks as if he did. So a break there for Tug Valley as they only had 10 men on the field. So it'll be 2nd and 10 with now under 2.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Again, Danville has 1 timeout remaining. Tug Valley has 2 timeouts in their back pocket. So they'll go under center with Price again. They put the blockers over to the right side, so that should give you a telltale sign where this is going to go, and they pitch it that way.
Oh, fumble!
Oh, it's loose on the turf. Let's see who's got this. Back-to-back fumbles here for Danville, and it looks like Danville somehow got back on top of it again.
Ooh.
Wow, and Danville, after getting all this momentum back on their side now, have had 2 miscues back-to-back. And that's a huge break for Tug Valley. We said they've had difficulty trying to slow down this Danville offense in the second half. Now time ticking away here as we could be heading towards overtime in this first playoff game here tonight. Danville's been their own worst enemy on this possession so far. Now on 3rd and 10, can they get a play off? Seems to be some confusion by the Hawks as they get to the line of scrimmage. Price will get the snap. He'll hand it off. Kennedy. Oh, he finds a gap. He's across the 35-30. He's in a foot race with Dotson to the 10, the 5. Kennedy's in. Touchdown Danville with 57.9 seconds to go. They have the lead for the first time tonight.
Wow, what a nice counter play they drew up here. I was about like you. I didn't think they was going to get the playoff.
It didn't look like it at first. Again, they were trying to line up, trying to get in position, and the clock just kept ticking and ticking away. And then, as you said, they ran that great counter play with Kennedy, and once he got through that initial line, you just saw nothing out there but turf for him to run through. Dotson gave great chase trying to get him on the ground at the last moment, but just didn't have the angle. And now Danville will go for 2 to try and pad this lead with under a minute to play. Price pitches back. Kennedy trying to get to the corner, but won't make it as a flag comes flying in. And
I think it's another face mask, Chris.
That's what I was about to say. It's right where this could be a possible another face mask on Tug, but let's see. They've had 3 of them called on them tonight. And it will be a face mask. 4 face masks against Tug Valley here tonight. And boy, if they go on and don't win this game, Kevin, this is going to be a tough pill to swallow for this B team who led 12-0 midway through the 3rd quarter.
Great job by this Danville coaching staff, though, to keep these kids' head up. Because I thought after they didn't get in there before the half, I was like, man, it's going to crush these kids.
Yeah. I mean, there's been so many crippling moments in this game for Danville, and they've just kept their wits about them and kept fighting back over and over again. Now trying to get the first successful two-point conversion of the night, but instead they're going to move back 5 yards. So far tonight, neither side has really taken yes for an answer whenever they've got their opportunity, as both sides have been very forgiving towards each other as far as penalties and turnovers have gone thus far. But now this changes the complexion of this attempt once again. This Price will go back over, but like we said, the way that Danville's been running the ball here in the second half, Tug Valley just hasn't been able to slow them down. 3 possessions in this half for Danville. All 3 have ended in touchdowns after being shut out in the first half. So now can we get the playoff without any yellow on the field? It's rolling out as Price looking to throw. First time they put the ball in the air here tonight, possibly. No, Price will take off, but he's not going to get there. And that does keep the door open now for Tug Valley with 57.9 seconds to go. We'll be back after this as you're watching youth football playoff action here on the D&D Sports Network.
Southside Buildings and Carports and Southside Shed Hunters of Louisa, Kentucky offers shed hauling services up to 16 by 52 long buildings. We also have lofted cabins, utility cabins, garages, man caves, she sheds that you can customize and order to your wants and needs with many different options such as workbenches, shelving, transom windows, and much more. You can go to the location or buy using 3D Builder's online order system. You can build right from your own home. We offer metal garages and carports that are built to any size and installed right on your property. For more info, call 304-928-0060 or 304-928-0062. Here at Southside Buildings and Carports, we've got you covered.
Back here live from Barker Stadium, and we have 18-12 Danville up on Tug Valley with 57 seconds left here in the fourth period. Got Kevin Jones and Chris Kidd here on the call. What a game, Chris.
This has been an unbelievable comeback for Danville when they looked nearly dead in the water midway through this third quarter. Now they have the lead, and Tug Valley's got to come up with something here in the last minute to save their season, as good coverage there by Danville as they drop Kirk down after a couple of yards on the return. Now Tug Valley's got 2 timeouts here, Kevin, and 48.5 seconds to go, but they've got to spring something big here to have a chance.
Well, they do have 2 kids that can break it at any time.
It is. They've got Kirk and Dotson, as you said, can break free in a hurry. We've seen Kirk break free for a 31-yard touchdown run, had Dotson break open for a long touchdown run earlier this half. So this game not quite over by any stretch here. But the Danville defense has been strong here in the second half after that touchdown run by Dotson. Can they stiffen one more time to move on to the semifinals next week? They'll put 4 men to the high side, looking to throw under pressure. Heaves it downfield, but too far out there for his intended man, as Dotson ran out of time in a hurry and just had to chuck it. And incomplete as he tried to find Kirk.
Tell you what, Dotson got a great arm.
Yeah, he had a lot of air under that ball. As we have 45.4 seconds to go now. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Tug Valley, as neither side's completed a pass yet here tonight. That's only the second attempt Tug Valley's had through the air.
I'll tell you what, this Danville crowd is fired up over here, Chris.
Yeah, this will be a big celebration night for them if they can pull off this comeback here in this 4 versus 5 matchup. Again, the winner gets top seed Tulsa next week. They'll snap it back. Running near side, Dotson caught and dropped for a loss once again, as Tug Valley's going to have to burn their second time out here, and they will, with 37.4 seconds to go. We'll be back in just a moment as you are watching Youth League football action here on the D&D Sports Network.
Unfortunately, water, mold, or fire damage can happen to you. Restoration One of Southern West Virginia is available 24/7 to help take the stress out of your mess. Our primary goal is to respond and restore your property back to normal as quickly and safely as possible. When disaster strikes, Restoration One is your go-to cleanup crew. Save our number now in case you need us later. Whether the job is big or small, give Restoration One a call. 304-443-4959.
Back here live on the D&D Sports Network. Kevin Jones, Chris Kidd, 18-12 Danville. 37 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Tug Valley trying to make a score here to tie this ball game up and possibly a win.
It is 3rd down and 15 now for Tug Valley. Again, the far marker has it as 1st down, but it's 3rd and 15 for the Panthers as they have one timeout remaining. And their season dwindling out right now as they'll hand it off. Kirk tried to reverse field and was just swallowed up all the way back inside the 35. And now Tug Valley has no choice but to burn their final timeout with 29.2 seconds. So we'll stay right here with it being 4th down now. And it's going to be a 4th down and about 22 here for the Panthers. And that's just been the tail of this second half after that touchdown for Tug Valley. They've just gone backwards on nearly every play.
Yeah, swarming defense. And Tug Valley's, they've not attempted the middle of the field any this second half. They try to get everything to the outside, and Danville knows that. And they're just swarming the outside, keeping everybody on the outside and just stopping these Tug Valley offense for loss after loss after loss after loss.
Now, again, this is the game and the season for Tug Valley on this snap if they don't get a 1st down out of it. And even if they just get a 1st down, they're going to have a lot go right. They're really looking for a home run play right here out of this if they can find it, Kevin. So whatever they've got in their bag, they've got to dump it out right here.
Yeah, whatever the biggest trick play you got, the best play you have right here, you got to let it loose with your Valley.
So here we go. Will Danville pull off the comeback and move on to the semifinals, or can Tug Valley stay alive here? Rolling out as Dotson, looking, fires over the middle and incomplete. And Danville will take over on downs with 23.9 seconds to go.
They're just a knee away, and this game's over.
Unbelievable, gritty effort by the Danville Hawks here in the second half.
This is the best formation in football, right? Victory formation.
You love to see it if you're on the right side of it. It's a wonderful thing to see.
I'll tell you what, Chris, let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and name our Tug Valley Wellness Clinic player of the game. I think there's no doubt who it is because, guys, as soon as this game's over, we'll be getting off here because we got to do a bunch of things. They don't give you much time between games to get the things done we need to get done. So Tug Valley Wellness Clinic player of the game has to be Kennedy, right?
I believe so, too, Absolutely. Yes. That was what I was thinking, and he's had a couple touchdowns here in the second half. Had the touchdown that tied it, had the touchdown that got him on the board as well. You know, he's had a tremendous second half after that ball was ripped away from him in the first half for that fumble. So I agree with you. Titan Kennedy, our Tug Valley Wellness Center player of the game.
And, guys, we want to give a shout-out to our sponsors, too. Trend Services, Juanita's Mexican Grill of Danville, J.K. Auto Cores and Recycling, and United Motorsports with locations in Danville, Logan, Belfry, and Pikeville. And what a treat. I hope the rest of them's like this.
I was going to say, this is a great way to kick off playoff football here in Chapmanville tonight. As we figured this could be a really tight game, wasn't much between these two coming in, and it played out that way throughout this evening as Price gets the snap, goes to a knee, and that will do it here tonight in this B-team quarterfinal as Danville marches on, and they'll meet up with Tulsa in the semifinals next week as they eliminate Tug Valley 18-12 here in our first game this evening. Well, Kevin and I are going to step aside for a break. We'll have a different feed up for you for the C-team game coming up next year between Chapmanville and Sherman. So stay with us here on D&D Sports this evening as you are watching Youth League Football Playoff